What's going on, Commander players? Welcome to my first ever deck tech. I will be doing a little deck breakdown of my Squall deck. Basically breaking down kind of everything I have in the deck, the way that I want to play it, not necessarily how it's optimized in any other way. I mean, I'm sure you can go to like any other websites and Google best, black and white cards. But yeah, so basically I'm just gonna break down like what I put in the deck, why I put it in the deck, why not choose something different, and all of that stuff. So like I said, my first ever deck tech. I'm gonna get some stuff right, I'm gonna get some stuff wrong, but we're gonna have some fun. So yeah, let's break it down. Okay, first of all, let's talk about land count. Now I am running 30 lands in the deck. Look, I know that's low. For some of y'all, they'll be like, no, nothing below 36 or whatever. I know, seems a little bit low, but the mana curve usually hovers around between 1 and 3. So as long as you can count to 4 and get Squall out, you should be fine. Now, I am running a lot of fetch lands in here, as his ability is whenever he deals combat damage to a player, you get to get something mana values 3 or less from your graveyard to play, permanent-wise. These also count the lands, because lands are CMC 0. So I'm running about 35 creatures in the deck, and this is really just because I want to build a small army early on of like little guys that just get in there, not too threatening, but just enough that also, if Squall happens to, if they happen to go to the graveyard, Squall can like hit them and get these creatures back. Some of them have ETBs, so you can utilize that. Some of them just are just good creatures, like Esper Sentinel. He also counts as a human, so I do have a human sub-theme in the deck. I also have a little bit of an equipment sub-theme in the deck because, I mean, let's face it, you can't have Squall running around and you can't not have swords in it and equipment. I did throw Lionheart in there just for flavor. I think it's overcost and underpowered, but hey, whatever. It still might be kind of cool to get a flavor win, having Squall take somebody out, swinging Lionheart. Okay, so let's break down the artifacts. So I took, ramp a little bit in Orzhov as much as I can. It's not much in there, but hey, I'll take what I can get. But you got your standard Soul Ring, Arcane Signet. I like to run the Talisman as well because even though it might ping you, you're still probably going to get the life back at some point. And also have a lot of equipment in the deck. I guess not a lot of equipment, but like very specific equipment. I'm running Sword of Hearth and Home. That way you're allowed to blink maybe like a Stoneforge Mystic or Cloud or just some other creature with a good ETB effect. And you also can go through your deck and ramp a little bit. I'm running a little thin on the sorcery side, only because I feel like I don't really utilize them that much. Personally, I don't play a lot of sorceries and instances. I throw them in there a little bit, in my decks, but as you can tell, I'm more of a permanent type guy. I like to have my permanents on the field at all times, and if you played me, you know exactly what I mean. But I do like to run the tutors. I think Buried Alive could be good in this deck. I'm not running it in my current list, but I've been thinking about it, and I might throw it in there in a later time. As far as the instances go, they're mostly just to make sure I get my creatures out of harm's way. With stuff like Flare of Fortitude and Dawn's Charm, you want to make sure that you have that option to get away. You gotta, go to Wakanda with T-Pro. And also, I really, really love when someone gets cocky and they want to swing at me, and I'm like, all right, cool, no blocks, Ink Shield. That's like the best way to win, in my opinion. Now, enchantment-wise, I have a little bit of Pillow Fort strategy in there. I got Crawl Space for my artifacts. I got Ghostly Prison for my enchantment, and also No Mercy. And No Mercy is great because it really deters anyone from really swinging at you. So if they swing, they got to swing hard, or they're not going to swing at you because they don't want to lose their creature. Okay, so my main goal when I'm playing this deck is I want to get out something at least turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, right off the bat. You want to get like a Mother of Ruin type effect, so that by the time Squall, comes down, he can be protected by, Mother of Runes, or you also have Stepmom in there too. Maybe get like a piece of equipment out there, just something like early on, just so you can have it out there. Maybe like an early Stoneforge Mystic to go get maybe Sword of Hearth and Home, so that once you do equip it, you can blinker and start to go through your whole deck and get, all your equipment. Once you're at 4 mana, you should be good to go. I think there's only one 6-drop in the deck, because it's Bolts of Citadel. that's for in game anyway. So we don't really need that, but it's nice to have. And if it can go off, it goes off. Basically, you're gonna want to kind of pick someone and have them be the target. That's usually what Voltron decks do. Squall benefits when you're swinging him by himself or swinging with a creature by himself. Later on, when you get like the Chroma's Will for the finisher, that's when you go all out at the table. But you generally want to kind of pick the strongest player at the table and tag them, and then everyone will back you up because they'll be like, oh yeah, you're breaking down the big scary person. So that's usually what I like to do when I'm playing this deck. If you do get hit with a board wipe, which we all know those things happen, once you start putting all your creatures out there, people are going to want them to go away. I did drop a Living Death in the deck as well as a Yawgmoth's Will. I think those are great cards to like. I love my reverse board wipe. All right, y'all sack everything and I get everything back. Yawg's Will also allows you to cast stuff from the graveyard. So if you can't get Squall, going again, you can also cast that and start to, rebuild your deck that way. I say this deck should try to go off around maybe turn 6 or 7. So if you're starting to see that you're not really contributing to the board state in those turns or really trying to take somebody out, I would say make sure you keep a better opening hand. You can actually, test the opening hands on Moxfield. So if you want my Moxfield link, it is in the bio. You can check it out there. I haven't played it on the show, but normally I don't do it until I play it on the show, but I'm gonna go ahead and bless y'all with that one. But yeah, if you have any, comments or suggestions that you would throw into the deck, please leave a comment below. Like I said, this is my first deck tech. Hope y'all got something out of this, and hopefully I'll be doing these every week. So until the meantime, I will see y'all then. Later.